You know what I hate? I hate when you find something that you never knew existed, and then you just get so stuck and involved. But I love it. All right. About a week ago, week and a half, I picked this little book up. Libris Mortis, the Book of Undead. This is a third edition book, 3.5. Copyrighted, copywritten. Yeah, this product updated material from 3.5 revision. Copywritten somewhere in like a long time ago. My nose has been dug into this book since the second I cracked it open. This thing is incredible. Like so many things that I didn't know existed just come together, and it's just amazing. Like, I know a lot of people are running 4th edition campaigns and stuff now. Like, I'm still into 3rd edition. But wow. The undead. The possibilities. I mean, I'm already... Like, because I haven't done any videos... Well, I'm all torn. I haven't done any videos in the last week, only because this book has been like... I'm actually starting to design a world, like based around like a bunch of things, a bunch of ideas. Like my guys are going to be starting in, the next campaign when things are done, and after I get this whole thing set up, they're going to start off in like this oceanfront town, like ports and all of that good stuff. It's a trading post between different like ocean cities, but just this alone creates so many different encounters. Like I'm already bringing a ghost into this whole situation because it has a very not expansive, but a very in-depth look at ghosts and hauntings and poltergeist, those things that haunt people. And it's just nuts. And I'm thinking, instead of just killing guys off, they can actually reanimate. Like you take your ghoul, when a ghoul attacks, you get poisoned, and eventually you die. You become a ghoul again. But with this, as a playing character, you can come back with some, like you drop a level first off, but then you come back with like some ghoul traits, like all your hit die, you go from like a let's say D6 or D8, that's what you start off with. You come back with a D12 as your hit die, and you keep, most of your old stats. So let's say you're a wizard, right? And you come back as a wizard undead ghoul. So you get the ghoul claw attacks, and like it's just nuts. It goes crazy because you could be like 4th level this, and then you die, you become 3rd level, but then you advance. You're level 1 here, so then you level up and level up and level up, and as you level up in the ghoul category, it's like cross classing. You become stronger as a ghoul, and then you continue learning your other traits as well back into your regular class. This book just opened up a whole world of wow for me, like minotaur skeletons and dire badger skeletons, and it comes with some really cool stuff in the back here. Like I believe it's like 4 or 5 different adventures you can actually run from the back. So you have the house on the hill. You have this whole cemetery scene. So you have the mausoleum, the whole cemetery layout. I don't like how it doesn't give you in depth, but it's only a base kind of thing. So yeah. Plus a whole bunch of new monsters that I wasn't aware of. Like you have the tomb moat. It's like this little 1 foot tall, like black thing of just nastiness. Displacer beast ghosts, or an umbral displacer beast. Then you have visages, void wraths. You can be like mummy shifters, and this is one of my cool little fun little friends, the Slaymate. I just love the play on words and just the coolness and the special effects that little thing brings. Like everything, it's a playmate for some undead commander, and that little Slaymate, it's a creature, but it grants bonuses to like its master. And then the skulking cyst, like this, it's an embedded like nastiness that over time will grow out of you and eventually kill you and then become its own entity, and then it's try to spread like fungus. It's just fucking amazing. Yeah. And then like this little raiment guy, it's flying clothes. Flying clothes. But it's a challenge rating 1, like it's a level 1 encounter. Or at least a level 1 creature that you can fight. Like you're on a farm and then all of a sudden these clothes become animate and they attack you and it grapples and chokes and so much. I've been like nose deep in this. Just so many different things. I really like this book. And I really hate it because it's just brought a whole new level of play. Because now I can go in, like I was saying, your characters don't necessarily have to get killed off. They can become, like I said, the ghoul. And then at 6th level, that ghoul becomes a ghast. So now it gains all those extra benefits that the ghasts have. And it still maintains its... Let's say it dies at level 5 barbarian. It maintains the barbarian like strengths and skills and feats, and then it gains all these other ones as the ghoul and ghast. It's just nuts. And you have vampire spawn. I haven't really gotten to the point where you become a vampire, but I think if you're a vampire spawn, you pretty much stay that way. But there's so much cool shit in here. It's just nuts. Like rat swarms, and then the blood moat cloud, which is like the spawn of mosquitoes. They're just undead mosquitoes, and they're just constantly hitting you. Yeah, this book is, if you want to run any undead campaign, or you want to incorporate extra stuff, like there's a lot of necromancer like spells strictly for necromancers. Ghoul glyph, ghoul light, haunt shift, incorporeal nova, necrotic awareness, necrotic burst, necrotic cyst, which is very similar. It starts off as a cyst, and eventually you lose that limb. Necrotic tumor. Oh, there's so many things, and it breaks down into like different classes too. So you have assassin skills and blackguard spells and new clerics. They're not new because they're old, but this is all new to me, and I love every page of this thing. The artwork is incredible. Like, look at this. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to be a necromancer? I mean, that's my next goal. I'm going to start off like a base wizard and work my way up, focusing on becoming a necromancer. Of course, the alignments, you have to play with your alignments, but alright, let's go into true necromancer, the picture I just showed you, just so you can see. As you advance through your classes, once you meet certain requirements, then you can actually advance into these specialized classes, like the requirements for true necromancer. Alignment, non-good. Knowledge, skill, 8 ranks. That's knowledge of arcana. Knowledge of religion, 8 ranks. So you need 8 ranks in each one of those to qualify. And then you need spell focus in necromancy. Then you must be able to cast Summon Undead 2 and Command Undead. So you're going to probably have to go Cleric and Wizard on this one. That's actually, I think, the way you have to go. Because you have to be able to rebuke Undead, and you also have to have access to the dead or death domain. So, I mean, and then from there, you get extra little features. True Necromancers gain no proficiency with any armor, weapons, or shields. You get a whole bunch of new spells. You get +1 at first level, +1 existing arcane. So you get an extra level on your existing spells. And then level 2's +1 of existing divine spells. And then it just goes into like extra feats that you can get into, and it's this whole book, and that's just Necromancer. You can be a purifier, so you have something that you could do as a paladin. You can become a purifier, and it shows you this. Pale Master. Then you have the Master of Radiance, which is like this elfish, like roguish craziness kind of chick. I mean, the girl is just a demonstration, but a lot more advanced like classes, like you can specialize, which I really love, and then more options. So when you get killed off, if you get killed off by a vampire, you can come back as a vampire, or as a vampire spawn, and part of your purpose for coming back is to avenge your death and slay that vampire that killed you. So that it just opens up more branches and more craziness. I just love this book. My nose has been in this book for the last week. And like I said, I'm already building a world. Like, I have my town, I have a farm. If any of my players are watching this, I'm gonna kick you. Well, I'm not gonna give the details, but there's a farm. There's a cemetery where I have certain things going on, and then there's houses along the way. There's gonna be some hauntings. Because it's a seaport town, there's going to be pirate encounters, and then they're eventually maybe kind of come across like a ghost ship, and then I'm going to incorporate a tempest. I mean, as they progress, I'm going to give them a whole bunch of different options. It's so, wow, I'm just fucking, ugh. Yeah. Libris Mortis. Pick this book up. I don't care what edition you're playing. You can always modify and adjust accordingly. But this book just brings like a whole in-depth understanding of the undead and the undead classes, and just it gives you tactics on how to use undead as a DM's like, all right, how would a mummy attack? First, you're going to use the fear, the fear that a mummy presents, and then you're going to use certain attacks. So now, once you're paralyzed in fear, what attacks would the mummy use from that point on? Mummy rots 1, and then it goes into different slam attacks. Like, it gives you the tactics of specific undead characters. Like skeletons, they're mindless, they're brainless, and unless they really have some rank or the controller gives them that power, skeletons are just going to do what they're told, and that's it. They're not going to react. They're going to stand there and just or go at you with their little swords or battle axes or whatever. This book tells you everything that the undead do. I mean, not everything, but it just narrows things down and brings things into clear perspective. So whatever game system you're using, pick this book up. I'm gonna provide a link in the description. I'm actually gonna write a review on Amazon just because I love it that much. And you can go check out that review and other reviews. And if you like what you see and you want to incorporate some undead, no matter which version you're playing, like old Dungeons and Dragons, advanced Dungeons and Dragons, D&D like 3rd edition, 3.5, or even 4th edition, or even next when that time comes, this is a great book to have. It brings a whole world of perspective, or opens your world, and opens your perspective to a whole bunch of different things that I'm sure you probably never thought about. So pick this book up if you're using Undead. This is a must-have to have. All right, guys, Libris Mortis.